What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of Talk of the Rift. This is a podcast all things about League of Legends, from current state of the meta, upcoming changes, and professional play. I am your host, Logan, and joining me is Eli.
Hello.
And Coobs.
Hey.
At the end of the show, we do a live Q&A, so if you want to submit your questions, you can tweet them to us at Talk of the Rift, or post them in the Twitch chat. If you're listening to us on YouTube, hit that like button, or if you're on Twitch, give us a follow. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
Not great.
Almost done with my clinical. So that's life stuff. We're going to talk about League of Legends.
Nobody cares.
That's
about
help that this
life.
That's help this podcast cannot provide to you. Only League of Legends things can we do for you.
And even then, I'd be like, well, I don't know.
We'll find out.
So what we got here today for everybody, we got a lot of League of Legends news, current patch notes, PvE stuff. We've got a lot of Summoner's Rift talk as far as follow-up on Sun and Nerfs that happened last week. Aphelios is finally out, so we've got some opinions on that. New champion announced, Set, third champion so far this preseason time frame. And then just preseason in general to see if anything's changed. Also, like I said before, we have that Q&A at the end of the show, so be sure to post your questions and we can get to them at the end. So first up, we have some professional play news. We did some last week. We got some more. Pobelter has been announced as a positional coach for the top and mid lane of Team Liquid. Last week, we talked about how he wasn't on a team. Well, now he's technically on a team.
He made it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. He has to be thinking that he's done playing, right? Like, in order to take a coaching position.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible to go to coaching, from coaching back to playing.
I don't know. Like, I think you're right. I don't know. I just don't know. Because, like, oh, man. Like, I don't think, like, he probably doesn't think he's done. Like, he probably thinks that this is just his, like, he'll just be a coach for a split. Maybe. And in theory, let's say, I don't know who, some other team's mid laner sucks, like 100 Thieves or Immortals. Let's say Immortals. Let's say Ica sucks. And then they just call Pobelter and they're like, hey man, you want to play? Like, he probably would definitely say yes, I would imagine.
I would imagine that if that's like what he wants to do, that there's something in his contract with it allowed to do so.
Right.
I still think it's just the wrong way to go about it, though.
Right.
I think if you're committed to playing and committed you want to be, that you are better than the rest of the people, you don't like, I'm gonna coach for now, call me if you need me. You can do like the streaming gig for like the income and all that, but like you should just be like playing League, wait for Spring Split to end, someone's mid laner is gonna bomb, and then they're gonna call you. Or at least give you a try. You know what I mean? I feel like that's like the route you should go if you're looking to play. So maybe this is Pobelter being okay with the coaching role. And just that's that. One way to get to Worlds.
Yeah.
That's a big assumption, by the way, getting to Worlds, because he's coaching. What did we say was Immortals?
No, Liquid. He's
Liquid.
coaching
I'm
Liquid.
sorry.
Yeah.
He's coaching Liquid. Actually, coming out of NA, they're probably the most likely to get to Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, a lot can change from now and then, but I think everyone's kind of power rankings is they're still holding that at their own. Yeah.
There are four splits in a row they won, so like you're number one until you lose, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree.
Was Pobelter ever on a roster with Impact before? Did they have?
Is he on that Liquid roster with them?
Yeah, he's on Liquid with them.
Or Jensen?
Right.
Yeah.
So they've already got that relationship built up, and I guess there is a little bit of a weird, like, I'm coaching the person that replaced me.
I mean,
beyond that.
Yeah. I think, going into whether or not he'd be a good coach is like a different thing. I think he would be. I think he'd be a great coach. Because I think he's like well respected, right? I think that's the number one thing you need as a coach is to be respected by your players.
Right.
And I think he has that, and obviously he's smart enough and knows the game well enough. I think it's I think it'll work out well for them. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't.
That's pretty much it on that, I would say.
GOB for ya.
Next topic on our professional league news. Evil Geniuses have rebranded, as in they've switched their logo design. It's no longer the big EG that you're used to. It is now literally the word Evil Geniuses.
Yeah.
Little funky looking.
Yeah, I mean, ours is just Talk with the Rift. So, like, can we really say much bad about it?
Yeah, I suppose.
But they're a professional organization.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
by the way, they've only changed that for the LCS. This isn't a change for the Counter-Strike team, the Dota team, anything else. This is just an LCS change.
Why?
That's weird. Yeah, why?
I don't like if they, because they're an NA team, right? Like if it was in the LEC, I would get it because it kind of
Right.
matches the aesthetic that they're going for. But I really like the old school look of the old Evil Geniuses logo. I mean, TSM has literally never changed their logo ever.
People would be mad if they did.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's a fresh look on a fresh team. It's a full,
And if one needs one for the league scene, it's them.
yeah,
I suppose.
yeah.
Considering that they used to be here and they're back.
New logo, new me kind of thing.
And I mean, you could argue the same thing for Dignitas, but they did their brand switch for the entire Dignitas. It's not an empire, but every esports branch of Dignitas
Yeah.
has that change, and it looks really good.
And it looks good. That's like the biggest part. Like if this looked good, right? We would
Yeah.
be talking about like talking smack on it. I'm just not a fan, personally.
I don't get it.
I think they could have done a lot. They could have done better. I feel like they just took like the boring safe route. I bet you they had options to look at. They just chose the safest one. Is what it feels like to me.
That's probably true.
Doesn't. I mean, nothing about it. Like 100 Thieves is dope, and now it like
Yeah.
runs the esports merchandise world.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're trying to think, you want to go with that, so you can do. There's ways to get people to your fan base, and obviously that's one of them, is making your stuff look cool. That's how 100 Thieves has done it.
Well, yeah. I think 100 Thieves has their brand deal. Evil Geniuses doesn't really have an identity with that aesthetic. Like Golden Guardians, you could tell that's based on the basketball team, right? Like that's from Golden State Warriors. It feels like that. Immortals is going back to what they were before. Liquid basically hasn't changed in forever. But to change your League of Legends brand that much and not change anything else in the organization is just
It doesn't
So-
really matter at the end of the day.
No, right.
It's just us being nitpick.
So, new skins were revealed yesterday on the PvE with the release of Set. Normally, we probably wouldn't be talking about skins. However, in this instance, there's a lot of skins. There are
Freaking cool.
like 12 or 13 skins. Usually, they only do like 3, maybe 4 at a time. But this one patch has a crap ton. So we've got 3 skin lines. We got Mecha Kingdom skin line. We've got Guardians of the Sands, which is an old one, and then we've got then we got Freljord, which is just one skin because Silas, and then Dragon Slayer is making a return as well. What's our favorites here? What do we like?
Well,
it's kind of hard to choose from.
I mean, right? First off, they're all great. They're all fantastic.
Yeah.
Mecha Kingdoms is kind of playing off of the. It's like if the project skins were put in a kaiju situation. I mean, they're just giant, like Zord Power Ranger robots, and I love them all. I want all the chromas. I want all the skins. I'm not gonna pay for it, but I want them all.
Yeah. That's a decent amount of change there. Favorite one out of those? Just gun to the head.
It's got
Jax? Dude, I like Jax.
Oh man, Jax is really
That's
good.
tough though. Yeah, they are, yeah. You can't go wrong with it.
I think Jax because I haven't had a Jax skin in forever. But the Draven one is so good though. Okay, no Draven. I'm looking at Draven now and I'm like Draven.
Think about if that Draven
They
skin
all-
was your upstairs neighbor. You would not get a lick of
Yeah.
sleep with him. Like you see those, he's got 9-inch stilettos on.
I mean, Jax is the 18, the most expensive one. That'll be coming out, so like there's gonna be more like detail with it too. But I don't know. They're all so cool. I like all the chroma. Like I think their chroma game for the Dragon Slayer line. Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's the colors they put together, and a lot of them, obviously coming off of which dragons they are in the game. Is like with Trundle being his base one being like the Elder Dragon. I think that's a cool little touch on it. And my wallet can't take all of these skins at one time. So why are they releasing all at one time, right? Did they have they have a lot coming out after this too? Then
well, here's the weird thing.
Instead of spreading it out over a while, right? They're pushing it all out.
Here's the thing.
So 2 weeks. I guess.
2 weeks from now is Christmas, so they can't have PB on Christmas, which means that these can't come out for 3 more weeks. So it's not like they're gonna dump these for us right before Christmas and know they're gonna be gone for they won't get any content for weeks, so we'll give them all the stuff now. No, they're gonna leave us for a while, then dump a bunch of crap on us at once.
If they're smart, they'll do it right after Christmas when everyone's got their
Exactly.
Got the money.
Yeah. If they're smart.
Your little Christmas cards.
Their Subway gift cards.
Exactly.
Throwback.
Does that still work?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
I'm gonna look.
I was gonna say I can look really quick because that was my favorite thing ever of all time was converting Subway gift cards. Gift cards and more, yeah. Dollar General, CVS.
CVS is
Let me see if it has open book. CVS Pharmacy, Dollar General. Those are the only 2 that work. There's no other ones.
Oh.
okay.
So I'll have to ask my parents for CVS gift cards this year.
Hey mom, I want a Dollar General gift card, please.
Subway's a has-been. I want that CVS money.
Yeah.
Exactly. I got prescriptions. I gotta go.
I got prescriptions. I need to fill.
Gotta get my daily dose, mom. Pretty hyped. That's pretty much what I gotta say about those.
On to patch notes then, because patch notes came out, or the new patch came out yesterday on Wednesday. Notes have been out since Tuesday.
Really, really quick before we move on.
Yeah.
Before these skins are released, the ones that came out today for the Nightbringer and Dawnbringer event,
Oh yeah.
we just hit 1,002 skins in League of Legends.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, have you looked at how many skins that you currently have?
I would
have
bet
a
he's
lot.
got more than you do and less than me.
Okay.
I have a lot of skins.
I thought I did too.
To be fair, though.
But
Wait.
I don't.
Total skins owned? I'd say it.
Yeah.
I forgot that they tell you.
Yeah.
I own 383 skins.
Yeah, spot on.
Right there. I got 442. I think it is.
Damn.
Like that.
207.
Here's my thing though. The rate I used to spend a lot of money because I had BioLife money that I would go donate and get that.
Yeah. Well, what else do you spend that on in college?
Right, exactly.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell. But now I don't really spend a lot of money compared to what I used to on League. Now a lot of my skins that I get are just through the loot system.
I just rolled 3 more just right before the show here.
I'll spend money if it's a really good skin. If when Jin got his 1820, I bought that because I love Jin, I love that skin. But otherwise it's a lot of just getting loot and stuff. So I only own I own a third of the skins. Huh.
Fun facts.
Yeah.
I have 3 of the 5 ultimate skins and I didn't pay for any of them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Two of
I
them,
bought
and
the
I paid for
Ezreal.
both of them.
Yeah.
I got DJ Sona for free, but I don't play that champion, so.
I used to, but no, I don't.
Actually, I bought 3. I only own 2, and I bought 3 because I got one for my college roommate for his birthday or for Christmas.
They're so nice.
Must have been Christmas.
I think it was Christmas. I
Because
remember that.
I got a Spirit Guard Junior because it was like he had to win 8 of his next 10 computer games. And
That's right.
and he won 10 in a row, and then I got him the skin, and then he won his entire match history with computer wins.
That was an impressive run.
Alright, so patch notes, really excited. A lot of different things in here, but we'll just talk about the highlights. First off, big changes are going to be Braum. Braum's getting a pretty nice buff on his W. It's going to make him, TLDR is going to make him tankier. when he jumps to an ally. It's going to cost less when he does it, and he can do it more often. So overall, just great buff. I think it's a late game buff, yeah, to the ally, as far as like the bonus resistances that they get, but it's not
It's an early game buff.
Oh, it's early
To
game?
the ally. Yeah, so it used to go from 10 to 16 with levels.
Oh,
And now
gotcha.
now it's flat 12.
Gotcha.
But don't you? I don't play Braum. I don't know if anybody here knows, but don't you max that last anyways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be better for like the
QEW.
whole course of the game, basically.
Yeah.
With how fast kind of games go.
And then the ultimate's gonna knock up higher for the enemy that's right next to him. So like basically if he stuns somebody, you can walk up right on him, give him the ultimate. It's gonna help a lot with like ganks and stuff early game, like setting them up. So that'll be pretty nice. Really good for engaging on like all the enchanter supports that we've had for quite a while now in League of Legends. Tank's got to come back at some point somewhere, and if that's in the support role, like I'm fine with that. I like playing bot lane better when it's engaged supports anyway. It's more fun.
Yeah, it's less annoying for
Right.
sure. Like it feels like, alright, where's the window? Okay, go. Versus like when you're playing against enchanters or playing with one, it's like, alright, dodgeball, who's hitting more?
Right.
And that's, it's good, right? You hit more, you're gonna do good, but
Right.
yeah, like you said, annoying.
Yuumi is the next one. Yuumi got a mini rework along with Diana, but we already talked about the Diana changes last week. Lots of information on Yuumi. She does less damage and she heals more. So she's more supportive, less AP carry-esque, is the easy version of saying it. Her W now, she gets CC'd when somebody else gets CC'd, as in she can't move off of that champion. With hard CC, that is. So if you catch out the ADC with, like, say, a Leona ult, Yuumi can't leave the ADC, so the ADC is going to get one shot, and then Yumi's going to just be stuck there. Then she's going to get one shot, in theory.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good change.
I think I like it. I think. It's still, I'm just really not big on the untargetable champion who's sitting in your lane the entire time.
She's been my permanently banned champion since she came out. I haven't switched to any other champion yet.
Like
Annoys
playing
me.
her.
It's fun to play her, but it's just like,
Yeah.
when you play against it, it's just like, oh my god. Like,
I think it's, I
please
mean,
stop.
it makes her, less like safe, so they're able to kind of buff other things without having to worry about, you're never ever gonna kill a Yumi because she just has so much safety with it.
Yeah.
So these changes, it makes it so that like, if your ADC gets caught out, it's kind of a 2-for-1. 2 kills there. The healing part too, it's worse on tanks then also, right? If I read this right. It's no longer based on the target's missing health, so it's just flat, which means it doesn't scale
Yeah,
as
no
well.
longer
as when you're
heals
sitting on
based-
the Garen. Yeah, so
No
like
longer
Garen
heals on missing health.
probably won't be as good, and it also will heal less early. So I wonder if you have to put, maybe you do something where like you do 2 points E, 2 points Q kind of thing before 6.
Oh my god, the mana cost. Oh
Yeah.
my lord.
Yeah, yeah.
30
no,
at level
that's,
1 to 100.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on the heal?
Yes. It no longer, so it doesn't stack anymore. Like you don't save up charges. So it's just you can only use it when it's off cooldown.
Yeah.
But the
But she doesn't
AP
even get the back on
ratio,
her passive.
right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just better on squishing your targets. Is what it is. It works on taking your targets.
Damn. Yeah, but that heal is
the Q
stronger
charges,
though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be good. We'll kind of, see how she shapes up. I'm not sure she'll be quite good yet. I think other sports are better. But we'll see.
I was just reading the W adaptive force changes real quick, and like she makes allies stronger.
Yeah. No, yeah. You nerf it, but you gotta give it back. You nerf the safety of it, but you gotta give something back. So,
She also doesn't TP anymore. So her W no longer follows a teleporting target.
Yeah.
So if
and
the bot
that's-
laner TP somewhere, she cannot go with, which I think is also
so
good.
so you'll see bot laners taking heals, like they usually do, and then Shur's taking ignite exhaust.
Yeah.
I don't a lot of power shifts I think with this champion here, and we'll see. And I'm sure this isn't she'll be touched in patches going forth, which just kind of putting her in the right place. But I think this makes her a lot more balanceable.
Right. So Kassadin is next on our list. Champion, not a champion that I play, champion that you play, Cruz.
Yeah, I play him. Yeah, he's good right now. The nerfs are warranted. He needs them.
So less poke early game with his Q, and less mana restore with his W. But that's also late game.
Yeah, late game, early game. Yeah, it's the late game that's like he should have mana problems late game, and he just doesn't. With how his ult works, with presence of mind and all that, he just has so much mana.
Yeah.
And so it. Say that again. Where are you going?
It says quintupled on champions, so they're making you brawl to get your mana back. You can't just sit in
Yeah, and it's been. I think I gotta remember now. Is it doubled on champions right now?
I think it is because otherwise they would say like new, and then they would put quintupled on champions. So I think the parentheses is they're saying like reminder, this is quintupled on champions.
Yeah, I know it was more on champions versus the minion, but the Q one's the big one for lane. That's the one that makes him like more exploitable now, especially as you're playing as an AP, because his cooldown is usually less than like on most champions, like big, their poke ability, like REQ for one. And so anytime Ari would throw out a Q, he would just Q anything in sight and get that shield and negate any of that kind of trade that you wanted. And now this, it kind of just gives a bigger window of opportunity to actually kind of poke him down. Like he throws that Q out, you got about 10 seconds, like maybe last hit. You got more time to zone him out and try to put some damage onto him. So I like it, but I still think he'll be good.
On the mana restoring portion of it, like late game, I don't know like the exact number. Probably in my head, I would say 4 to 5. But like, if he uses 5 ultimates and he still has a lot of mana, like that's probably not good. Like that's a lot of ultis.
And he gets restored with kills. Like he doesn't need just
because presence of mind. Right?
Overload. Yeah, he doesn't need an overload. He just doesn't.
Right.
Which this will hopefully bring that. We have to be a little bit smarter with using your ultimates, especially when it's level 16 and something like cooldown. Because right now, team fights you can just use it wherever. If it's up, you use it. You don't have to worry about mana. Hopefully, you'll have to worry about mana now. Ideally.
So Conquer changes for ranged champions. Duration goes down, the total duration goes down to 6 seconds for Conquer. And then the healing for ranged champions goes from 50% to 8%. Melee champions stay the same. Very abusable by a lot of champions in League of Legends. Is that still the case?
Yeah. Less on ranged champions, obviously. I think you'll see. Is there any ADCs that would still keep it? Maybe Lucian.
Yeah,
probably not. You probably just go back to press the attack.
I think Riot was saying that Conquer was Ezreal's best keystone now that
now that Kleptomancy is gone. So I don't know if it's still his best keystone. I haven't played a single game of Ezreal since Klepto's been gone because I've been like zero interest in doing that. Like no interest at all.
Yeah.
Klepto made it.
I don't know. Klepto made us feel so fun. Now it's not there. I just don't really feel like playing him. And plus, they'll have to look at Ezreal pretty soon here, and they will because he's a popular champion. But right now, I don't know. I have no idea what you take on him now. He's a weird champion overall.
Yeah. Take Omnistorm.
Yeah.
LOL. I took it on Jax. That's a good. We're talking about Omnisol next anyway, but I took it on Jax for fun. We won the game. It was alright. I don't like it.
I feel like Conqueror is just even with the changes, it's so good on Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then Jack
yeah.
is
Melee,
based on-
I mean, I thought to
Melee still
myself, what champion can use all the keystones? And I was like, probably Jax. So I was like, this makes sense. And then I used it. We won. There was one time where I legitimately actually works. Like, first off, I'm terrible at managing what I have and how to use it, because I'm just not used to thinking about it. But at one point I was low health, he was low health, and all of a sudden I could see the timer going and it switches to electrocute, and I was like, oh hell yeah, and I just jumped in stun auto, Q stun auto, and one shot. I was like, there we go. I was like, this keystone's awesome. I love this. This is great. And never again did it ever happen. I just kill people and people would be like, nice dude, you use lethal tempo, and I was like, yeah, sure, that's what I did. I don't know.
Yeah, I knew that.
Of course.
Definitely my decision to do so as well.
Yeah. So just wrapping up Conquer. Melee still take it. Range is probably. I think this will be how it's gonna be now. So if we want to talk more about Omnistone, how it got smarter, I'm down.
We did start talking about that.
I thought we said we were gonna come back to Conquer, but hey, let's keep
Well,
moving now.
I mean, it's smarter. Predator, for instance, will now proc when you're far away from champions and you have boots. I mean, well, it already did that before with the boot part, but Dark Harvest, when a champion has low health, then you'll get more likely to get that. Hail of Blades, if you're near low health enemy. Fleet Footwork, if you're low on health and you're under level 9. Glacial Augment, if you have a glacial item off cooldown. Summon Airy, if you are near a low health ally who is in combat. So everything's got their own little thing now, which is great, I think. I don't know. Again, I don't know what champion is this is the keystone I want to take. This is it, nothing else. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be I feel with this one, it's melees. You want to take it, melee champion, especially auto attack based ones, to use the most out of Hail of Blades and get the more out of Conqueror and stuff. But at the same time, if you're melee, it's to me it still feels like a for fun.
Yeah.
Keystone. Do it. Let's see some RNG happens. Maybe come up with a montage of just getting something ridiculous lethal tempo and a Hail of Blades or something ridiculous like that.
Force
Right.
everybody in ARAMs to take Omnistone as the keystone.
Yeah.
That's the mix.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to think of a world I'll use Jax for example again, because again, I think he could use a lot of keystones. I guess it's good if you're top lane, you don't have teleport, and the enemy team is mid lane, and you're gonna start fighting. So depending on how consistent the smartness of it is, are you always gonna get Predator? So I'll be there because I'll definitely get Predator because I'm away from you guys, kind of a thing. And then the everyone's low, so now I'm gonna jump in with Hail of Blades guaranteed, or is it it's just a little bit more likely? So it's something we'll probably just have to play around with to see where it's actually at.
Yeah. Wait and see. Try it out. Let us know what you guys come up with.
And then PBE patch, support item changes. Let's see here. Eli, you primarily wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, so they added some regens into the support items on the PBE. And the first one I wanted to mention is that Spellthief's Edge, it says it's new giving mana regen. They're giving it back. That had mana regen before they changed the support items. So it's I don't know why they took it away, but I think it's kind of interesting that they're giving it back. And that's 25 at the first tier item, 50% base mana regen at the second tier, and then the third tier gets actually still 50%. I thought that would go up to 100. Because the health regen on the tank one, which they added 25% base health regen on the steel shoulder guards, 50% on the next one, but that one does go to 100% base health regen. And they added the health regen to Relic Shield, Targans, and Bulwark. And they added mana regen to the Spectral Sickle, Harrowing Crescent, and Black Mist Scythe. The only champion I've seen take that is Senna, and I guess I never really had any mana issues when I was playing her, but I guess that's probably good. I don't know who else would even take that support item, to be honest with you.
I have had like 2 support games since preseason, in which I have just taken the item it's told me to take, and I think it was the relic one both times. Yeah, big brain. All I see when I look at this is mana regen being added back into support items, and I'm not
That's
happy.
the biggest takeaway.
I'm not happy at all. It's so dumb that Brand and Lux and Vel'Koz, the one guy that plays Xerath, can just like poke and poke and poke and just get all this regen and poke. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I was so happy with that change because it was like, yeah, now people have to strategically poke, not just like poke on cooldown. And it's like, great. Now it's only 25% compared to, I think it used to be 50% before preseason started.
I think so
But
too, yeah.
I
I mean, it goes
hope-
up with the level, but with the level up. Which,
Well, I mean, late game, I don't care. Like, poke is poke.
It's more
You
about
know,
the laning phase.
Yeah.
Pre-save, stuff like that. What I think also is interesting is that the gold to upgrade to the final form has been increased from 1,000 to 1,250. So that's like 250, I guess, extra gold that they get faster, right?
right.
So more money in the support pocket, a support meta, baby.
Yay.
You sound so excited.
I love
It's
having
like
my
the-
role
it's
being
like
slowly
second fiddle
reduced to the new
to the one
support.
not taking
Yeah.
minions.
I guess another thing to add is that the scythe and the bulwark. Is this just all the tier? No. Maybe the Pauldrons of Whiterun didn't have it, but the tier 3 support items no longer notes receive diminishing gold from excessive minion kills. So I guess that lets them farm when the item's completed. I guess.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I've never come across it, and I mean, I guess that's just to keep ADs from taking it. I'm not really sure.
I suppose.
I don't know. It seems more like a consistency thing versus anyone abusing it. Maybe
Right.
someone is and just haven't seen it, but more like because like same thing with the jungle for funneling is like that. Maybe it's just keeping it the same with this. Or some big brain person is keeping it under wraps and has been winning every single solo queue game with it. Who knows?
Could be. Could be.
On to Senna. Well, some follow-up Senna stuff. We talked about last week the nerfs that she was going to get. Now that we played a couple games with her, against her, etc. How did nerfs feel? I had her on my team. Someone was supporting me. Maybe it was you, Eli.
Yeah.
It felt
think
good.
so.
I mean, heals were heals, but it didn't seem like you're doing crazy damage like normal. But the ulting and the healing still felt like pretty good.
It just solidifies her role as a support,
Yeah. So
which is what I think they succeeded at.
the way that I built that was I had the glaive well, actually, I mentioned I having mana problems on Senna before. I also was building the front half of Athene's to get the mana and health regen off of it. But then I would go with the glaive to clear wards a lot faster. And then I finished that item to get my healing up, but then I went like Duskblade and was going more lethality after that. And at the end of the game, the other team had a Soraka, and basically I was basing it off of the combined total of the amount that I healed and the damage that I did was higher by not a whole lot, but it was higher than what the Soraka did, and her ability to heal and do well. No, obviously not her damage, but her ability to heal is vastly superior to Senna's. So I think it's got her in a really good spot if those numbers are comparable, because you're supposed to have a balance of that anyway.
Yeah. So, let me see her things real quick.
Yeah, I think it's damage is lesser thing, which I'm okay with.
Did you have music playing during this, by the way?
Yeah, I turned it off.
I didn't know. I thought you turned it off when we started talking.
Yeah, I was supposed to. I didn't.
Oh, so sorry about that.
I got
the
very
couple-
involved. I turned it off like 10, 15 minutes ago.
It was a while ago.
Okay,
It's been a while.
okay.
I did check.
I got so into the conversation, I forgot to turn it off.
All right, that's good. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Hopefully,
derail.
I don't
Hopefully
think
that
it was
was
unbearably
better
loud, but I
feedback.
definitely think it was loud enough to warrant why is this loud music playing? No, for Senna, my thing is stacking her stacks with her range. Like I'm down for a high range support, but like you would get so many stacks. Oh, you get so many stacks so
I mean,
early.
that's why you could play her as ADC.
Right. I just think that
Because
I'm okay with like
it's
late
already
game range,
passive.
but it should be late game range. You should work to it. You know, we shouldn't be like 15 minutes in and she's like, all right, I outrange all the ADCs now.
Yeah, you shouldn't have over Caitlyn range at that point.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Played with the ADC Senna today.
Oh, yeah, how'd that
Can
go?
confirm. It did basically nothing. So,
Good.
Small sample size, but hey.
It's the way it should be.
Good job, Riot.
All right.
And then if we're just quick.
Yeah.
We touched up on her, touching up on Diana too. Now that she's been live, that's one of my favorite champions.
Oh yeah.
I got to play a couple of games of her. She feels
Yeah.
fun. I
So,
really enjoy playing her.
That's
I
funny
think the
that you
fun
say
part is-
that. That's funny you say that because I've had 3 games of Diana. Like I haven't played, but other people have played, and not a single one has done anything. They've all just been garbage. I'm sure it's people.
It's
Diana
a
players, people that aren't Diana players. Right, it's a change, but like. I watched Diana, like there was like a Zyra was like caught out in mid lane and Diana like flashed, like went for it, and I was like, oh hell yeah, and like half of Zyra's health went away and Zyra just like all in Diana and killed her, and I was like, oh
no, it's a different play
damn.
style for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, do
You gotta
the
play a little
builds
bit
change?
slower. That's what I think is fun right now. Is that there's people are still playing around with kind of what the best one is.
Right.
But
All 3
you
that I
can
played
but
with
it seems-
did-
yeah.
All the 3 that I played with did Nashor's AP.
Yeah.
Like
I
Nashor's,
think
Luden's, Zonya's, Nashor's, Zonya, Nasher AP items, basically.
Yeah, and I think the bruiser way of playing it's a little better, right? More like sustained damage, high CDR, some health, some resistance, and just
Okay.
kind of brawling it out might be a little better, especially since he uses Conquer pretty well than just like the straight burst. But it's still it's not like what it was before where you could just build. I was like. Spellbinders and a death cap was like the build, and you just one-shot people. Like it's not like that. Even if you go like a death cap, like first item, you still have to kind of, be smart with it. But I think it raises her skill cap a lot more. I think there's a lot more build diversity with her now, and she just she feels cleaner with the passive too, making it just attack speed after her ability. Versus like 3 autos. So overall, I like her. I'm looking forward to keep playing her and get better and figure out which kind of builds for me and which one's kind of the best one that ends up on top.
So you played a mid lane.
Yes.
I played with a Diana that was playing in the jungle, and I wasn't paying close enough attention to note which one seemed to be performing better. Also, there were other circumstances in the games that we played that we're not going to talk about. But I don't know. I didn't think there was any problem with playing her jungle. I'm really curious to see what her home is going to be. If it's going to be in the jungle, if it's going to be in the mid lane, or maybe they even play her top lane with that bruiser style.
Yeah. I think ideally, my perfect world would be I could play her in any of the 3 roles with some success.
Mm-hmm.
And not be considered like trolling. Hope my lane opponent's not very smart. Her jungle definitely got better. You can actually like gank free 6 now.
Yeah, that was a big
it's
issue
huge.
before.
I mean, she doesn't have CC on when she's going in, but you could, someone's pushed up and you got red buff. You can definitely walk up on someone and kind of run them down a little bit. Mid lane felt good though. Like the matchups that I've played today felt fine. She can definitely hold her own. And she's able to trade. She's able to take advantage of like trading patterns before 6, which is like their goal. Like if you hit someone with a Q and maybe they use their CC ability or have no abilities up, you can actually punish that now. So it makes her an actual laner. So I think both the roles got a bit better as far as early game goes. But yeah, I just wanted to touch up on that real quick.
Yeah, no, for sure. Main event though. Well, half the main event here. So we have Aphelios, who's now out. Been out for a couple days. I have played 5 games of him, 6 games of him. Love him. Fun. Hard. Yeah. Oof. He's a champion.
Yeah.
He's an ADC. He's different.
Yeah.
He's about 7 ADCs rolled into one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, Eli, you said you had some things about playing with them. You want to touch upon that real quick?
So I was curious to see how much I would like the lane would get punished for me not knowing what all of his abilities did, because my first experience with the champion was supporting him. And the first game I played Swain, and the second one I played Senna. In both cases, it just seemed like being aggressive was rewarded. No matter what gun Aphelios had out, he wants to dish out damage. And it was really hard for us to get punished. So I'm not sure how much I can use that as a sort of a litmus test, because he's probably just overtuned. But for right now, if you have an Aphelios on your team, you don't necessarily need to do everything that he does. Just be very aggressive.
I don't think so. With the overtuned part, I think he has some weapons that are overtuned, and I think he has some weapons that are very weak. Like his sniper, like his auto attacks in general, I feel like don't do that much damage. Actually, I know that's weird, but like, I never felt like I was just like shredding people. Like when I play Caitlyn, like I am doing damage. Like when I hit my triple crit, it's like I'm unlocked and here I go. I never feel that with Aphelios unless I'm doing combo damage with certain weapons. So for instance, like one of the combos is, I don't remember the names off the top of my head, all of them, so you have to bear with me here. But like his lifesteal one, you Q somebody and he like single target auto attacks, like high attack speed basically. And then what you do is you have your chakram in your offhand, and by using your Q of the lifesteal item, you gain a bunch of chakrams passively to your offhand. So then you then switch to your offhand, and then now you have like 5 chakrams, which is 5 auto attacks that you can use at once basically. And once you use them, they come back, and then you use them again. So you have like 5 seconds of like literally times 5 auto attacks, and that is like stupid busted. Like if you get like, you'll get dove. I got dove by like a Zed. He like W like ults me or whatever, and I like pull out the chakrams or whatever, and I literally like one shot him, because like I said, it's like 5 autos that you're throwing out at once, and the closer you stand, the more damage you do, because they come back to you faster. So he's an assassin, so he's right next to me, so it's just like auto, and he's just like dead. Like I had a Warwick that was like sustained, jumps on me, and I shredded him, absolutely shredded him, didn't touch me. Like I had like barely any health, and I just like won that fight. So that to me is like stupid OP, but the problem with that though is that like it's very situational. The only way that you can get all those stacks fast is to either have Flamethrower or the Lifesteal, because Flamethrower marks a bunch of targets, because they're the only 2 weapons that you can mark multiple targets with one ability, and each mark that you gives a chakram to your offhand. Where like the sniper, for instance, like you can poke someone with the Q, but that's just a single mark, so that doesn't like work well with that. Unless you did like Flamethrower or Sniper, where you mark a bunch of people, then you can switch to Sniper, then globally hit all those people. But the Sniper crit, it's like 175% crit damage is what it does when you like hit that mark. Doesn't feel like that to me. It doesn't feel like it's doing a lot of damage. It's just kind of like, nah. You could poke down with it, but like if Caitlyn headshots with a rapid fire cannon proc, you're like, you do it to a squishy, you're like, damn, like that hurt. Where like, you kind of have to do that like 3 times with Aphelios to equal said big, wow, that hurt damage. With the sniper, that is.
What keystone were you using?
So the first ones that I did was Fleet Footwork, because I basically was like, I want to learn how to play this champion, so I want to sustain so hard in the lane that like, that I don't die. Like I just want to, I want to sustain, because I was like, everyone's going to camp me. Like I'm a new champion. They're going to try to kill me, take me out, stuff like that. Right. So I just did that for the lifesteal, and I usually try to keep my lifesteal item in my offhand in laning phase. So because once I got poked, I just pull that out, lifesteal back up with a health potion, put it back in my offhand, continue poking with other weapon. The last game, the one game that I lost, I did lethal tempo, but I'm not gonna count it because I had a hard inting top and jungle that like tried to FF at like 12. No, you can't FF until 15, and then they just ran it down like the rest of the time. So
special.
I was like 12 and 5, so like I was doing things, but like we couldn't win the game because Perma split push Trundle and Lee Sin trying to 1v5 in Baron Pit, stuff like that.
So tinfoil hat time.
Okay.
Aphelios comes out very shortly after
No.
Omnistone comes out. And the Omnistone rework happens right as the Omnistone is built for Aphelios.
No.
Smart.
Maybe. Hey, try
Hey.
it. Try it.
Smart Omnistone. It's gonna read what gun you have and say you need this one.
Until you get lethal tempo with your chakram, so the attack speed doesn't matter.
I'd say the hardest part about playing him in general for me is just like, it's just remembering that like you have an offhand weapon. I get so focused with like auto attacking and kiting, it's like you forget sometimes to like switch to your like offhand weapon and auto with that instead. But like the times that I do remember it, like it definitely works really well. It's really nice when you're just like auto attack. You're like, oh, that's right. Like I can root this person. You switch to your gravitum, use your Q, and it roots them in place, and then you can run away. You know, you switch to your lifesteal one that gives you movement speed, and you can like chase somebody down, kind of a thing. There's just a lot of things that you have to think of that you're not used to thinking of. And you know, after I play, I'm sure 50 games of him, probably less than that, obviously, but like at that 50 game mark, I imagine I'll be like significantly better at doing those things.
Yeah, it's gonna be knowing. That's the learning curve, is knowing like which combos you have in your hand, and like so say you get the 2 with the life steal and the chakrams, you're like, oh, I can literally face tank anything.
Yeah.
And so then you can start playing super aggressive. And then maybe you get like the graviton like sniper rifle, and it's like, I'm playing back a little bit, and it's just knowing the situations you have, which is what they want.
Yeah. Well, we only have about 14 minutes left. So, I mean, do you guys have anything else on Aphelios?
That's all from me.
Okay,
I
we could,
think I'm good.
after we play more games, we could touch up on them next week. But we still have one more champion to talk about, and that is Set, who is the newly announced champion. Another one, yeah. The third and final champion of this preseason. Abilities that he has. He's got some interesting ones. So he's a fighter juggernaut. He's the first juggernaut since Darius, I believe.
That can't be
Really?
true.
That can't be true.
No,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
believe
sure that's
you.
true.
I
Think of the
do-
Juggernaut. Think of the Juggernaut rework back in the day. Darius, Garen, Mordekaiser, Skarner.
Yeah, Mordecai.
Darius is the newest champion. That was a rework.
I mean,
This is the newest champion since Darius. That's a Juggernaut. Pretty sure.
Atra. I guess
Nope.
we checked rework. Oh my goodness.
So champion primarily fights with, well, only fights with his fist.
Crap, you're right. That's all right.
Yeah,
Today I learned.
When did Darius get released?
long ago. Before I started
Not
playing
too
League
far
of
from away.
Legends.
I was gonna say that's like season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. May 23rd, 2012.
Damn.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
First Juggernaut in 7 years.
Yeah, brand new.
And I get
Yeah.
upset that I only get
Works.
180C a year. My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this guy looks. It's about time.
Yeah.
That here.
So
And also he looks like a badass. So.
Vastayan
hopefully-
Noxian. He's half and half. That's what he is.
Okay. Half breeds.
So he works primarily on auto attacks, dealing with a left punch and a right punch. Left punch is a normal auto attack. His right punch is an increased damage. So it's faster auto and does more bonus damage. Scales off of AD. And then his Q basically gives him an empowered auto attacks. So he gets like movement speed towards somebody so he could chase somebody down. And then he gets 10 bonus physical damage plus a percentage scaling off AD of the target's max health. So just an empowered autos basically for more punching. W, Haymaker. Let's see here. So the passive of it is that like as he takes damage, he stores grit. And then after a cap of grit that scales, he can activate the grit to wind up a big punch for a bunch of damage. So the more grit that he has, the more damage it does, and it does true damage to all enemies in the center line. And then there's like a wider line where other people just take damage. Then he gets a shield. So it's kind of like Mordekaiser W in a way. Mordekaiser's you use abilities, you use the shield, where this is he takes damage, uses a shield to make up for the missing health, basically. Because he doesn't have an engage, like mine. He doesn't have like a real engage. He's a run at you person, so to speak. Well, his engage is a little wonky. It's not normal engage, So he's gonna soak a lot of damage while running at the enemy team. Facebreaker is a new CC ability, which is really cool. He pulls 2 champions from two sides, he pulls from 2 directions, of any amount. And if he pulls at least 2 champions, they get stunned. Otherwise, it's just a pull. They hit each other, like they smack into him, kind of a thing for stun. So that's really good because that works really well with his ultimate because he like jumps in and then he can just like grab the team and like bam, like pull him in.
Right.
Yeah, his ultimate's the cool part too.
Yeah, the RKO, the showstopper. It's called the showstopper, but
It is called.
grab a champion, jumps forward, slams him into the ground. All enemies impact take 200 plus 100, scaling AD. 40% of the grabbed enemy's bonus health is physical damage, and everyone is slowed for 99%. So basically a shitty route for 1.5 seconds. Enemies take less damage the further they are from where Set lands. This ability is awesome to watch, and I love it, and I'm so excited for all the John Cena and all the RKO montages that we're going to get forever.
I'm just glad we got another member of a dunk squad that can physically dunk somebody into the J4 Ultimate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3 points.
I'm
2
gonna
points. And 1.
The random times that I play top lane, I'm going to main the crap out of this champion. I love it.
Yeah. He could probably jungle too.
I imagine he could do a lot of
because of his
things.
E, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
It also but it also matters because like he stores grit, so he could probably wave clear really well, like as he's taking damage. But like he also only has auto attacks, like his abilities aren't gonna do like a crap ton of damage to monsters and
Mostly
minions
auto
because his
attack
Q just makes
for
him auto
all.
attack better.
Yeah.
From a lore standpoint, they mentioned you talk about Demacia and Vistayan, and
Noxus.
they say not. I'm sorry, Noxus. I'm sorry, I was looking at something else. And they say his dad was a pit fighter, so his dad could be Draven. And I just looked this up. The card art for Draven in the Legends of Runeterra game has him not romancing, but certainly attempting to romance a lovely young woman with red hair, and I believe Set's hair is red or orange.
Yeah.
So it's possible that we actually have seen his mother before. We just don't know from a lore standpoint yet. If actually it is Draven's kid.
Hey, I'll ship it.
I'm in.
Yeah, all aboard. Yeah, he obviously numbers are subject to change, but he's looks relatively simple and a ton of fun to play and a ton of fun to watch. So looking forward to that.
Should be some great pro moments, like in big team
Yeah,
fights.
hopefully he can get there. Hopefully he's viable. Hopefully he's not, his numbers aren't just ridiculous. Which they could obviously. He seems easier to balance than some of the recent champions we've had come out.
Yeah.
It does feel like a lot of the for the past year and a half, 2 years, most of the champions that come out are strong as an individual fighter. We haven't really gotten a whole lot of wombo combo fuel, and this guy is 100% wombo combo fuel.
Oh yeah.
Be really good with like an Oriana ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe a Diana ult.
Yeah. Ooh. Theory crafting. Yeah, I think that he'll be fun. I don't know if we'll see how easy he is to kite. How much damage, how much the grid actually makes him like tankier and stuff. How what it's like using that ult, how easy it is to kind of dunk on another person. But gonna be one to look for.
Quick reminder, as we got a couple more things to talk about with Set here. We do a Q&A at the end, live one. So if you have questions, anybody that's watching, I just see we have a couple people watching, 5 or so. Leave a question in the chat about League of Legends stuff. We'll try to answer it as best we can if it's a good question. So yeah, we'll do that at the end of the show, even if we have to go over a little time. But just a reminder to that. Back to Set. We're not in a tank meta, as we've kind of said before. We talk about like Braum changes and stuff like that.
I think we're heading that way.
No, right. I agree. It's a slowly but sure climb. I mean, God, I had a Maokai in one of my games the other day, which, first off, I haven't said that sentence in 2 years. They won. He was so damn tanky when we got to late game. And he had they had one Mountain Drake, I think, and it was just oh my gosh, you could not touch him. And it was just absolutely ridiculous. And now I sit here and
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I wish I had a showstopper ult to just take that Maokai and just shove him into the enemy team. But
Yeah, I think because dragons are such a big deal, I
Yeah.
think tanks use all the dragons extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously mountain, more resistance. Obviously ocean, health regen. The cloud, because a lot of the tanks have, part of their
utility.
kit is having a really impactful ultimate, right? That's
Yeah.
like a team fighting ultimate kind of thing. So
Or
they
in
get to use that
Maokai,
more.
Mundo.
And even like
Cho'Gath.
yeah, exactly. And even Malphite, all that stuff, and even the giving them damage with the infernals isn't like a bad thing either. So I think that and some things are getting nerfed, some things are getting buffed. I think tanks are going to be making a resurgence very soon here.
And then it'll get shut down with this champion. It was
Well,
great
yeah,
while
give
it
us
lasted.
some tools. Give us some tools.
Well, I mean, if it's getting shut down by one champion, that champion just becomes permabanned. We all played season 4. Nobody could play Kassadin. No one was allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that'll happen. But as long because that's the ideal meta, right? Where you can have a bunch of different play styles, and so hopefully it's like, yeah, you can play tanks. We have an answer to it. And if you didn't really draft correctly, and then you lose because of that. Versus the other way around too. Got a lot of damage. Hey, we can play tanks into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be hopefully as we're kind of moving on into the regular season, that we'll have a wide variety of things to pick from instead of just the same two comps running at each other every time.
Which I think, speaking of going to the regular season, I think the client says January 10th
Yeah, I saw
is
that.
the regular season, is when that will start. So we're actually getting pretty close because Christmas is coming up here. But yeah, so we don't have a lot of time. I think professional play starts the week of that. I think it's like that Saturday. Somebody said it, a pro on something in an interview or something. But it's early this year. It's like the second week of January or third week professional play start. So,
And those are my favorite games of the whole year.
because no one knows what the hell's going on.
Who knows what's going on? And so you get a
Random-
bunch of fiasco stuff.
They
which
just
is
kinda-
my specialty.
People will probably ban all of the new champions because they'll be like, we don't want to touch that.
Three
We
of
don't
them,
know
yeah.
how to play against that. But like that's the thing. You're like, we banned Aphelios, and it's like, well, we got Senna. Well, we banned Senna. Well, we got Set, and we got who was the rework that came out? Oh, the Diana rework, but who came out
Yeah.
before that? I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of it. Shoot.
Mordekaiser.
Pantheon.
Pantheon.
Pantheon was
Yeah.
he was new Pantheon
Pick
for
ban.
Worlds, but he was picked.
Yes.
Yeah, 100% pick ban.
Saw it.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe we will see it now because it's been nerfed. There's like so many things that like just get plopped in that like it's
Coming
great.
up on the Volibear Fiddlesticks.
Oh my god.
Coming up.
Somebody. Oh, I remember that one. So Kobe said that on the dive. He said that that he got to see the model, the in-game model for it, and he said it's terrifying. He said the way that Fiddlesticks walks is like straight up scary. And I'm like, let's go. Like, I'm so excited.
yeah.
He's gonna be more jaunty and more twitchy than he ever was before, and I'm here for it.
I am still crossing my fingers that like he actually has an ability where he can just like put scarecrow versions of himself like in the jungle, or versions of him will run out of fog at people so they won't know if it's him or not, and then it will actually be him like ulting or something. Like, oh, I think it'd be so cool. Like, you're just going through the enemy jungle and all of a sudden these Fiddlesticks are coming at you and you're like, oh god. Like, I don't know, and all of a sudden one of them just like bam, like fears you and then throws the crow or whatever his new abilities would be. I think it'd be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
well, and hopefully we'll get some more news on that soon.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any questions. You guys have any topics, anything left you want to talk about with the little time we have left? Don't think we missed anything, really.
No. Yeah, I think we have some things to keep looking at. Expect next time more information on Aphelios, how he's kind of shaped up. I love talking about Diana, so I'll keep you guys posted on what I think about her as I keep playing her.
Definitely the same, but with Aphelios, when I get significantly more games played of him. He hasn't been banned yet, actually, in any of my games, so...
It's weird.
I don't think it's been banned in any of I've played
We had one that banned today.
Yes, and
But-
that's how we got the Senna ADC.
Which is weird because all that Reddit's been talking about is how much everyone's going to permaban him for months. So
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm happy that we're able to actually play the new champion when he comes out, because usually you're not able to.
agreed. It'll be nice. In about 3 weeks, you'll probably get to play him way more because when Set comes out, everyone will be on that hype train, and then you just kind of,
Yeah.
I'll keep playing Aphelios, and then 2 weeks later, I'll start playing Set or something like that. But
All right.
so anyway, thank you everybody for watching. That's going to do it for us today. Remember, be sure to follow us here on Twitch and over on Twitter at Talk of the Rift. If you're watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to leave a question in the comment section for our live Q&A that we do for the shows. We will be back next week, Thursday. So we will see you then, and you all have a great day.
Peace.
Sorry about the music.